presenting The Art of Not Giving a Fuck with Garrett Don.
Hey folks, Garrett here with Taylor and Lance.
Hey.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
And we just wanted to do a real short little podcast episode for you here about the Ozark talks. So what are the Ozark talks? Well, there's a very amazing Netflix show called Ozark. You should all go out and watch it. And we're going to be releasing 10 podcast episodes, one for each of the episodes of Ozark, where we're going to explore some of the hidden themes underlying the character Marty Bird and his family and the greater surrounding characters. And before we get into why and how we're going to do that, I wanted to mention that for those of you who don't know, we often use TV shows and watching TV shows as a training tool in the art of NGF imagination training. It's an extremely important and powerful training tool because no matter how sad or depressed, no matter how upset, no matter how resistant you become to changing your life, to growing, to evolving, you can always get yourself to sit down on a couch in front of a TV show. It'll make its way into your mind, into your imagination. No matter what you have going on, you can sit down and watch a TV show. Now, if you do so deliberately, and if you do so with a healthy amount of attention and awareness, with the right shows, you can begin to train your imagination to operate differently in your life. There's a lot of shows we've talked about before that fit the bill for this type of training. One of them is the OA, a Netflix show. Another one is Sense8. Again, hats off to Netflix. And there's quite a few others, Burn Notice, The Mentalist. Now, what all those shows have in common is there's an overt transcendence theme involved. There's some amount of transcendence of the boundary of the character in all of those shows. In Ozark, you wouldn't necessarily discover or discern that as a theme. You wouldn't necessarily notice that transcendence is the overriding theme in the show. That is, unless, of course, you are us.
Yeah, if you weren't paying attention, you would miss it for sure. But Ozark is the finest example of the living art of not giving a fuck that I've ever seen in entertainment media.
Before you go writing off the show as another Breaking Bad, I encourage you to start with a beginner's mind on Ozark and not let what's come before it define it for you.
Yeah, it's funny that way. A lot of people who would be interested in the art of not giving a fuck may feel like there's movies from 20 years ago that told the story already. But I always find that the modern storytelling is the one that resonates most deeply.
Yeah, of course. It's like the movie The Fisher King with Jeff Bridges and Robin Williams. It's a retelling of the Grail, the story of the Grail Knight and Parsifal. But it takes place in modern New York City with a homeless guy and a radio show host. So you can put yourself into the experience a little easier than trying to imagine that you're a knight riding off with your sword into the woods.
Mm-hmm. A sign that we might be onto something is I think that we're the only people who see it this way.
It's a sign that we're either onto something or we're totally nuts.
Yeah.
Either way, it's going to make for some great podcast episodes.
And a really cool opportunity to watch the show yourself, take some notes, and then tune in and listen to our recap.
Right. So we go scene by scene. We're going to go scene by scene through each of the episodes, exposing and dredging up this transcendence theme through all the characters and through the way the writers are handling the show, through the way the art direction works. And we pick up on a lot of little bits and pieces that they present in the show. The amazing thing is that the transcendence theme is so clear. There's every milestone that you'll face on your way to experiencing transcendence in a more permanent, long-lasting, lifelong way by watching Marty Bird go through what he goes through on the show and how he responds to it. and you see how that affects the family units, how that affects other people in your life. And like what Lance said, that Marty Bird is a mirror for all of us and for modern humans in a way. So that's what's in store, folks. The Ozark Talks. We decided and like I said, there's a lot of shows we could do this with, but none deliver as much as Ozark delivers, especially on this transcendence theme. And what's amazing about it is that, of course, I love the OA, I love Sense8, but it's overt transcendence themes. So that means people can distance themselves from it. Mm-hmm. You can kind of see it, oh, well, that's some fancy stuff, has nothing to do with me. In Ozark, there is no transcendence theme except in the flow of their daily life. And of course, that's where you're going to find actual transcendence, in the flow of your day-to-day life. Lance, Taylor.
I think it's worth being excited for. It's going to be a really fun ride to watch the show and then come here and listen to some of the finer points. And I think it's going to be a very impactful experience, and definitely some real training going on, which you can step into and have for yourself just by tuning in. So get on it.
If you want to get a jump on experiencing this kind of transcendence in your own life, day by day, moment by moment, event by event, then get in touch. You can reach us at radicalondoing.com and artofnotgivingafuck.com. Currently have a few openings for elite training. And if by the time you reach out, those have closed up, we'll put you on the waiting lists.
Yeah, so watch Ozark, episode 1, and tune in. Get ready for a ride.
Talk to you all soon.